me and Marlon got into it.
Yeah.
And you actually hit me, you texted me, and you criticized the fact that I apologized to Marlon publicly over putting our business affairs, in the public eye.
Well, I just felt like, if you did it, you did it, so stand your ground. And I can't remember the total, the makeup of all the details, but, I saw Marlon on the Breakfast Club, and he said, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
And he was like, yeah, Vlad trying to pit Aries against me, telling a black man another black man's business. And there were some people in the comments that was like, I'm glad Aries didn't fall for the bait and started bashing another black man for the sake of what Vlad was trying to do. And ultimately, look, I can't speak on too much that situation from where y'all was coming from, because I kind of understood where Marlon was saying in terms of know your worth. Now, do I still think that he would get 40,000 for an interview? No, I don't believe he would.
He's never gotten 40,000.
Okay, but and listen, I'm not saying that to say
yeah.
He's not deserving of it. He shouldn't go for it. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe, and you ride that out. I just was going, damn, somebody gonna cough up 40 grand for an interview?
Plus 30%.
That's even more so.
Right.
So, that was just my only take on it.
Right, look, I hate if I get into an argument with another human being and the argument is over a specific thing and the first thing they do is pull out the race card. It happens all the time. Marlon pulled it out. I remember when me and the Princeton professor, were going back and forth over me criticizing the mixed quality of a Kendrick song, which ultimately the engineer even said, yes, we put out a very rough version because Kendrick wanted it out quickly, and we fixed it later on. But it turned into a racial thing. Vlad's trying to get a black professor, female, fired. Marlon, Vlad is trying to put black men to fight each other. Okay, there was no racial element into what I was doing, but ultimately it turns into a race thing because it's easy to pull that out. At the end of the day, I still stand behind what I'm saying, and that is nobody's going to pay Marlon $40,000 plus 30% to do an interview. All these interviews he's done since then, and I know the people that he's done interviews with, like the Breakfast Club, they don't pay anything.
Well, I know that because I've been on it twice.
I've been on 5 times.
Right.
They don't pay anybody, including myself, including Marlon, and everything else like that. So what I stand on is still what I stand on. That amount of money, nobody's going to pay you. Now, you could say, you can't tell me what my worth is, but the market determines your worth. You don't determine it. I could say that I want $1 million every time I interview on someone else's platform. I can feel that's my worth. No one's going to pay it. So that's just in my head. It's ultimately the market that determines it, and the market is based on your views, your audience. It's like saying, you could say from here on in, I'm only doing stadiums, right?
Yeah.
Every show,
don't have the ability to sell out a stadium.
Every show, you could say that.
Right.
You could call your booking agents, whatever else. Say, listen, if it's not a stadium, don't even call me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a club. I'm not even doing an arena. If it's not Wembley, lose my number.
Right.
And you will remain unemployed.
Yes. Or you'll go back to Chin's Chuckle Hut in Paducah, Minnesota.
Right? So people like to say that I'm diminishing. No, I'm not diminishing. I'm just talking about what the market, what the market bears. Now, he did that Shay Shay interview, got a lot of views, but right afterwards, he did Shaq, and it got about 400,000 or 500,000 views.
Dude,
and then he did Breakfast Club, which once again got about 400,000 views. So what I say, I stand on. But I just want to say this. But the reason why I apologized was academics kind of pointed out. He goes, Vlad, isn't that somewhat unprofessional? This was a private discussion between the two of y'all about business. Was it really necessary to publicly put it on blast and start interviewing people about it? And I'm like, that's a good point.
So look, the man thing you did was you apologized.
Yeah.
That was some man shit.
Yeah.
But as far as what you did, dude, you are a narcissist, motherfucker. You have an ego.
Yeah.
So sometimes that gets the best of you.
It does.
Just like, me too.
It does.
We all have it.
And when I apologized, I said I was being an asshole.
Right.
That was an asshole move. And Marlon even touched on this on the Breakfast Club. He said, listen, if you look at our text messages, I was being really cool and polite. And that's true. He was being very humble and polite about it. He even got on the phone. We had a conversation about it. I was just going through some personal shit at the time. And if you really know me, you know what I'm talking about right now. It was some very traumatic shit that I was going through family-wise. And I think I just took it out on the world at that time. But I was being an asshole. I didn't need to put it out there. It could have just stayed between us. And maybe at some later point, you know, we could have potentially even done something or whatever. And we can still potentially do something at one point. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's the reason why I apologize. Because it was actually unnecessary to put a personal conversation, a personal business dealing into the public eye and create content out of it. That's why I apologize. That's what didn't sit right on me. But once again, I'm still not going to pay $40,000. And nobody else is going to pay $40,000 either.
In terms of knowing your worth, you know, that doesn't just work in terms of money. Like, I remember I reached out to Shannon Sharp to do Shay Shay.
Yeah.
And he hit me in the Instagram DMs, for sure. Have my producer call him, I'm blah, 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 blah. And then for some reason it wasn't happening. And then I checked back in with him once, twice, 3 times. And now I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to feel like I'm sweating them. So then I started to get the sense, well, they don't want you on. I said, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
So then my publicist hit me about a week ago and goes, they want you to do Club Shay Shay, only they want you to do virtual. I said, absolutely not. No, you have me on in front of him like you do everybody else.
Right.
I'm not fucking doing a virtual from my crib, and I don't know if that's a self-inflated ego, but I feel like I got 35 years in the game. I'm respected. I'm known. Whether you like me or not, I've earned my stripes. You're not gonna lessen me to a fucking computer screen. That's my worth.
I feel you. I feel you. Listen, there's lots of artists that I've interviewed that basically said, listen, we're either going to do it in person or we're not going to do it all.
Right.
You either fly in, you fly me out, whatever else. We're in the same place.
Right.
We're not going to do it. I remember Lil Bibby was like, I'll do the interview, but you got to be on camera. And that's where he put his foot down.
But when you,
and I wanted the interview.
But listen, when you think of the Vlad brand,
there's
more cachet when it's the artist and the CEO of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like I'm gonna be on let's say, I don't know what it was called back then, but let's say whatever the name is, it's Barbara Walters' show. But only, you don't get Barbara Walters, you get whoever. Whereas some of the, I guess what you might consider the A-listers or the bigger names, they get Barbara. That has more cachet when it's with Barbara. So that's like, I remember when Arsenio Hall's show came back for the second time. And he said to my people, he can do stand-up and then possibly the couch. Like, no, I'm again, I didn't just start this. I've been doing this for 25 years. No, I sit down, talk to me. I'm not sitting up there burning my material for 5 minutes of yucks. No, have me on the couch, nigga. Talk to me. And when they said, well, he's either got to do stand-up or, I said, well, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah, man, listen. Everyone has things that they will and won't do. And I get it. And look, Charlemagne brought up the fact that I apologized to Marlon. And Marlon said, I accept his apology because I'm a peaceful person. I mean, he took a few more shots at me. That's cool. Like, I don't mind that. And I think the cool part about it all was that neither one of us went below the belt when we had our back and forths.
Right.
It was like he started calling me ugly and starts talking shit about my beard. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry you don't find me attractive. You're best known for dressing up like a woman and you do gay photo shoots. Maybe you should do gay porn.
And you said it didn't go below the belt.
Well, no. That's what I'm saying. I think those types of jokes are not below the belt. I didn't talk about his trans child.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
And trust me, the comments were filled with that.
Right.
That would have been a very easy target.
Right.
But I said, nah. I said, his kid has nothing to do with our argument. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He didn't bring up family members, you know, like other past guests have done, and, you know, which is why they're not going to be, you know, on my show ever again. It was like, okay, I didn't talk about, you know, smoking his dead homies, or, you know, I didn't say fuck your mother, you know, or fuck your
Right.
brother or whatever else. Like, you know, it's like, oh, it's between us. We kept it between us. And if we ever run into each other, I don't have a problem approaching him. And I don't think he'll have a problem approaching me. You know, I mean, we may not be friends or whatever else, but it's like no one did anything that caused irreparable harm.
Yeah.
And I think more people need to learn about this, because you go to the hip hop world, I'm smoking on your dead brother. I'm smoking on your dead father. Fuck your dead homies. I'm going to do a video at the graveyard holding up pictures of your dead friends. I mean, this is how Fulio got killed, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, like this type of really like horrific, below the belt, nasty, disgusting language that's as dirty as you could get it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's one of those things, and people need to kind of learn that, like, you may have a problem with this person at one point, but at some later point, you might end up becoming cool again, and you guys might be able to actually do some business together.